I found out how to cook Trader Joe's cauliflower gnocchi by accident, and now it's like my whole personality. I cannot stop making this. If you are not making your cauliflower gnocchi like this, then be ready for your life to be changed. I don't know why this isn't printed on the package, but Trader Joe's does not tell you this, but I'm gonna show you how. So the magic happens with roasting. We're gonna roast the cauliflower, not boil it, not saute it. We're gonna roast it at a 450 oven. I've made this so many times over the years, I've figured out some easy tricks. So the first thing I do is I'm going to cut the bags open, put them in a colander, because ice crystals form on the gnocchi, and we kind of want to get those off before we put them in the oven. So let's do that first. I usually have a tendency to get a lot of ice crystals on my gnocchi because I don't live really close to a Trader Joe's, so I have to drive 45 minutes away, and when I do, I stockpile the stuff, but by the time I get home, it thaws and then refreezes. That's why I get a lot of ice crystals on it. The other thing is a lot of the gnocchi is fused together like this. So I don't want to dump this directly on my baking sheet because I want to be able to separate these. I don't want to dump all that ice on there. So I put it in a colander and I let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes to kind of take the chill off, and so I can cut the fused ones apart so they bake up nice and crisp. Okay, our gnocchi's all ready, so now I'm ready to dump it on the baking sheet. This is 2 bags of gnocchi. I don't recommend using any more than that on one baking sheet. You want it to be able to spread out so that high heat can circulate around there. Once you have that on, then I pour on 2 tablespoons of olive oil and then just some kosher salt. And then we're just gonna toss that to combine. You want the gnocchi nice and coated in the oil, and then spread it apart on your baking sheet so they are far apart from their neighbor as possible. And then put them in a 450 oven for 25 to 30 minutes, and you want to flip them halfway through. Now, this is how I make them if I'm serving them with any sort of meats or if I'm making a sauce. So while they're roasting, you can prepare the other part of your meal. But today I'm going to show you how to make a sheet pan meal that will roast at the same time as your gnocchi. So when it comes out together, you can toss it all together so you can enjoy a complete sheet pan meal in one. Grab another sheet pan, and on that sheet pan, you're going to put 1 head of broccoli that's chopped into florets. I also wash the broccoli and then I put them in a towel to kind of soak up all that water, because the drier they are, then the better they will roast. To the broccoli, add 2 cloves of minced garlic, 1 more tablespoon of olive oil, and then about a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And same thing, just kind of combine that all together. The broccoli will not be super coated in oil at this point, but that is fine because we're gonna add some Italian sausage to this pan as well, and the fat will release from the sausage and help coat the broccoli. I have Italian sausage links. You can use bulk Italian sausage as well, but since I have the links, I'm gonna take a sharp knife and just kind of slice through the casing on there so we can use the meat inside. Your other option would be to just slice the sausage, or you can use smoked sausage as well, or chicken thighs would work well in this. So I'm gonna take the sausage, I'm gonna remove the casing, and then I'm just gonna pull off pieces of the sausage about the same size as the broccoli and kind of just plop them down in between the broccoli. This is also gonna roast in the 450 oven for 25 minutes, so it roasts at the same time. When I was coming up with this recipe, I tried to do it all in one sheet pan, or just kind of like put the gnocchi and the sausage and the broccoli together. The gnocchi, to get it nice and brown and crispy, needs its own pan and it needs to spread out. Otherwise, it'll just steam. So I recommend splitting up the gnocchi from whatever you're roasting along with it. let's combine our final sheet pan meal. Okay, we have our roasted broccoli and sausage, and so what we're gonna do is just move the gnocchi over to this pan. You can just toss it all together and be good, but let's make it even better. So while this was roasting, I browned 3 tablespoons of butter. That means I just melted on the stove. Once the milk solids went to the bottom, they are white, and then they'll turn brown. Pull it from the heat, then you're done. You have your voila, brown butter. I'm gonna pour this over and toss everything to combine. And then I'm just gonna squeeze some fresh lemon over that, about a half of a lemon, and toss everything together for your complete meal. Sometimes I will do fresh grated Parmesan on top. Like I said, you can do other meats as well, but I would just pay attention to the cooking time. Like chicken thighs will probably take a little bit longer. Use an internal thermometer to check your meat and make sure it's done. You could do other veggies too, like broccoli or peppers or mushrooms. If you want other meals to go with this gnocchi, sometimes I will roast tomatoes on another pan. And when it's finishing up, I'll put little dollops of fresh mozzarella on the pan, let it broil so the cheese gets nice and melty with the tomatoes. Then I toss that together with the gnocchi. There's so many things you could do with this. If you do not need the Trader Joe's cauliflower gnocchi for a gluten-free meal, I've tried this with regular gnocchi as well for my family. You could do any frozen or shelf-stable gnocchi works in this recipe. Thank you for watching. I hope you find this recipe video helpful, and if you do, please like and subscribe. I will see you in the next video.